In this video, we'll be answering the question, how much does the average person spend on food per week here in the UK? If you're worried about your spending and want to compare your own spending against the average, you've come to the right place. We've gathered information from various sources such as the Office of National Statistics and gov.uk to give you an accurate picture of food spending here in the UK. So let's start off with some interesting facts and figures about food spending in the UK. The average spend on food per person is around £44 a week, which is roughly £189 per month. The typical household in the UK spends approximately £3,601 on groceries and an additional £1,744 on meals at restaurants and takeaways every year. On average, households in the UK allocate 16% of their income to the purchase of food and non-alcoholic drinks. But with the cost of living going up, it's not surprising that in the 12 months between June 2021 and June 2022, food prices went up by 9.9%. Unfortunately, the sudden rise in the cost of living has resulted in an increased demand for food bank services. Since the beginning of 2022, 93% of food banks have reported either an increase or a significantly increased demand for their services. In 2019 to 2020, the Trussell Trust reported that approximately 2.5% of all households in the UK, or 700,000 people, used a food bank, and this was before the pandemic and the sudden rise in the cost of living. Now let's talk about the estimated annual cost of food for the typical household in the UK, which was approximately £5,345 in 2022. This is based on an average number of 2.4 people per household, with roughly £300 being spent on beverages that do not contain alcohol. It's important to note that for the purposes of this video, food includes beverages that don't include alcohol. So how does income affect spending? Families with the highest incomes, which have disposable incomes of over £72,000 per year, spend 3 times as much on food and alcoholic beverages each year as the families with the lowest incomes, which have incomes under £11,650. This difference in spending can be attributed to the higher standard of living enjoyed by higher income families. Now the big question, how much should you be spending on food each week? Across all ages and genders, the average cost of food per person, including shopping and eating out, is about £44 per week, or £189 per month. In the UK, the typical weekly food budget for one person is £29, with an additional £15 spent on takeaways or dining out. If you're looking to save money on your food bill, consider buying more fresh vegetables and less processed meat. Plan your meals ahead of time and make a shopping list before heading to the store to avoid any impulse buys. And if you're eating at takeaways or restaurants a lot, try to cut back and cook more food at home more often. If you're finding that debt is making you struggle to afford essentials like food, then there are a number of options available here in the UK. Some are free to use and others include fees, and each will have their own pros and cons. If you want to learn more about the debt solutions available, then we've created a really great form that you might be interested in checking out. Click the link in the description to get started and answer a few multiple choice questions like the total amount of debt, how many people you owe, your living situation, and we'll connect you with one of our trusted partners so that you can find out more and take steps towards improving your financial situation.